Welcome to Donna's Happy Hour. Today I have Brian St. John joining me. And Brian is an artist that I've had on the show probably 2 or 3 times already. He's constantly working on new material. Since his last visit, which I believe was 2020, he's got an album and also a single that he's put out. And now he's going back in to work on another record. So grab your drinks, whatever they may be, because I'm hoping you'll spend the next hour with me.
My name is Brian St. John, and this song's called What Fear Does to the Heart. Not keeping those old connections. New me hit the river and drowned. Stop leaving my windows open as I'm cruising through my hometown. All our cares and our worry, everything left in its part. All the space left between us, what fear does to the heart. Everybody feels like a stranger. Crown and veil left there in D.C. In my room or in my own head, pulse jumping up a couple beats. All our cares and our worry, everything left in its part. All the space left between us, what feared us to the heart. And I worry, everything left in its part. All the space left between us, what feared us to the heart. All our cares and our worry, everything left in its part. All the space left between us, what feared us to the heart.
So, Brian, I want to thank you again for joining me. And it's been a long road getting here since what I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that we got together last in 2020. And for some reason, I thought it was in the fall, but I could be wrong. I could be totally off on that.
It was, fall of 2020 into the winter, maybe late fall. I mean, it's definitely been a little while. Yeah. Excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, no, I appreciate your, doing this for me because I always love having you on. Brian is constantly working on new music all the time. I honestly don't think he sleeps. I think that he's he's writing songs in his sleep. Do you have a pen and paper always by your bed?
Sort of. Sort of. Yeah. I mean, I always, even at work, if a lyric idea comes into my head, I do pop it on a piece of paper, even a Post-it note or I just recently started doing the notes app in the phone for stuff like that. If a clever line pops in, you kind of like, yeah.
I would imagine, because, I know, okay, well, this is kind of a little bit different, but it nonetheless does happen. I have the ability to talk with people on the other side. Mm-hmm. And if I have somebody, let's say a client, that is on my mind, mm-hmm. and a lot of times what will happen is the person that they want me to contact mm-hmm. will come through. And often it is while I'm in the car alone, mm-hmm. driving. And of course, then I have to try to remember, like, what they said to me, and what images came to me, because a lot of it is images. Sure. And with the images comes information. Mm-hmm. So that's why I joke with you, because, if I was a writer, I think I'd have a piece of paper and a pencil under my pillow so that in the middle of the night, I'm like, oh, wait, let me get this. Because do you find that sometimes if the exact words are so important to convey, when you already have a song in mind, mm-hmm. and you don't want to lose that, do you find that that's a problem? Or
I do. Okay. I do, yeah. So I typically will try to, have something, either type it into the phone or I write down the lines, and that is a big piece, especially if you're trying to get that one specific thing.
Right.
But there's also a writer who I really, really enjoy his work.
Okay.
Jason Isbell, singer-songwriter.
Okay.
I think he's maybe the best at it right now.
Really? No kidding. Oh, wow.
And I was listening to something from him about, what does it take to write? Where do you get the inspiration? And he said, it's not really all inspiration. A lot of it is putting in the work.
Okay.
Like sitting down with your thesaurus and sitting down with the paper or laptop, whatever it might be, and
taking the time. Interesting. Okay.
They call it songwriting, but I think more and more as I try to do it anyway, I think it's more about craft. It's song craft.
I would imagine. I mean, I know I was watching a documentary with Jackson Brown. Mm. And actually, it was so interesting because at the time, it was an apartment building. Mm-hmm. And, like on one floor, you had Jackson Brown, and on another floor, you had, I'll say Carole King, but I'm not, but it was like just all
J.D.
these
Souther
incredible,
and, Glenn Fry lived like upstairs or something, right?
Yeah.
And that was how they collaborated on Take It Easy.
Right.
Was they heard Jackson Brown on the piano, just kind of, and then finally Glenn Fry goes downstairs. He's like, can we help you finish this thing? We're tired of hearing it. And then, that song did okay.
Right. Yeah, a little bit. So, you hear stories like that, and you just sit there, and everybody, I guess, has to find kind of what works for them in their own way. But It is nonetheless learning and understanding what works best for you. As to how to constantly be able to put out songs, and of course, you hope every single one's a hit, but
of course. Yeah.
I don't know how,
I
realistic that is.
As I do this more and more, and, we'll have another record coming out here in the fall, which is going to be a little bit more of a rock record, which I'm excited about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to just write fun stuff to play with in a band,
Right.
And
interesting.
The older I get, the more I just want the song to be good. I want to deem the song to be good.
Right.
And whereas in the past, I may have, you're trying to go after radio or something of that sort, and you might say, well, this isn't really my favorite thing, but it has potential for what's in the zeitgeist right now. Right. And I just don't care about that anymore. I want to make myself happy.
Well, I feel that that's really important, mm-hmm. But not only that, I think that when you make yourself happy, you mm-hmm. are going to make the listeners happy. I think that kind of goes hand in hand,
Yeah.
I would find it hard to, like, let's say you weren't happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to convey to the audience, in my, thinking. I could be totally wrong, but.
All right, this next tune is called Long Road Back. Both came up on the very same streets. Over time we went our own way. Self-absorbed or self-destructive. Gotta get back on track with you today. It's all over now, 'cause you're my brother, we'll get by somehow. Move slower now, take that long road back to town. Have we run out of time with ourselves? I can see the age carved deep in your face. Experiences of a prodigal son, with no expectations, what's left of this place. It's all over now, 'cause you're my brother, we'll get by somehow. Move slower now, take that long road back to town. Back to town. We'll try a little bit harder just to give you what you need. We'll give you everything, but not enough to feel free. And some things have changed around these parts. Others will always stay the same. Looks like you're taking off for a long, long while. Long, long while. For new places that don't know your name. It's all over now, 'cause you're my brother, we'll get by somehow. Move slower now, take that long road back to town. Back to town. Hey, this next song is called See Your Face Again, and I wanted it to be sort of have two meanings, meaning for 2020 and 2021, hopefully not 2022, where we're through this thing. But I also wanted it to, I wanted it to be a song where you could look at it 10 years later and just say, oh, that's a lovely song to see a loved one or a friend or something. So, See Your Face Again. Remember when we used to meet down the dark end of the street, living life to pass the time away. I knew these times would be a gift. Think of them and get a lift when everything just feels so cold and gray. All the torn anguish, sitting back, picking the languish. I just need to think of a better day. If you could give a humble man just one little wish, I'd just like to see your face again. There together we adore like nothing else we had before. Wandering about and feeling free. As I think back, though it's a sin, to all the places that we've been, but there's nowhere else I'd rather be. What is it I'm thinking of? Young and dumb, or call it love? Two against the world in the Monday. If you could give a decent man just one little wish, I'd just like to see your face again. Love to get back to those times before we knew all of the signs that would go and change our everything. Even though it feels so dark, you could give me a little spark and make a weary man feel like a king. Everyone in my eyes and sees us standing there, oh, you and me. Instead we sit and struggle, love in vain. If you could give a modest man just one little wish, I'd just like to see your face again. I'd just like to see your face again. I was on my way to breakfast. I was on my way to work and I was picking up breakfast. And I was waiting patiently in a large chain convenience store parking lot to get a breakfast sandwich. And a man in a pickup truck just sort of pulled up onto the curb to make a spot for himself before, as I was waiting there patiently for the next one to open up. So this is sort of the negative side of the social side of the, maybe not the best side of people during the pandemic. It's called It's Never Going Back to the Way That It Used to Be. I pulled into the corner store. Every parking spot was full. Held back to wait my turn, 'cause that's what you're supposed to do. When a man in a pickup truck laid it half up on the curb, he's gotta get on with his day, leave the rest of us undisturbed. It is what it is now, that's humanity. It's never going back to the way that it used to be. It is what it is now, that's humanity. It's never going back to the way that it used to be. Can always find a fool to have their dogmas back. Perpetuate the lies by finding their own facts. Slap a camera in the face of truth, try to get just what they want. Unwarranted indignance is strictly theirs to flaunt. It is what it is now, that's humanity. It's never going back to the way that it used to be. What it is now, that's humanity. It's never going back to the way that it used to be. one's capable of conversation along with decency. While you defend your right to be in vehemently. It is what it is now. That's humanity. It's never going back to the way that it used to be. It is what it is now. That's humanity. It's never going back to the way that it used to be. It is what it is now. That's humanity. It's never going back to the way that it used to be. It is what it is now. That's humanity. It's never going back to the way that it used to be. The way it used to be. The way it used to be.
I was seeing last night a guy who'll play bass with us sometimes. A friend he grew up with, who I've gotten to know a little bit now. He has a Genesis tribute band.
Okay.
But specifically a 1970s Peter Gabriel fronted kind of Genesis band. Okay. And he does the whole, he's the singer and he does the face paint and the costumes and the whole thing. Wow. And I was speaking to them after the show, and they kind of said, like, this is the sort of thing that more than even other projects, you sort of need to find the audience for. Mm-hmm. But once you have the audience who really likes that, right? Who and there is an audience for that. He's like, you have got those people, and they will come see you every single
wherever,
time.
right? So that makes sense.
To a degree, I think every artist is sort of searching for how can I be me, but also who is my audience, right? But I think to varying degrees.
Right. I mean, that would be like, now there's a lot. There's like the Black Sabbath. Well, it's a band that does Black Sabbath, and also like Queen, you've got the...
Yeah, Almost Queen.
Almost Queen, right.
A couple of those groups.
So, so they found their audience, and they travel, those fans, are, well, and thank God for fans, really.
Now more than ever. I mean, for the first few months of the pandemic, right? I mean, just basically going on the internet and playing on the internet. And it was for what it was good. I mean, you could still interact with people, but once you finally got in front of physical people again, it really was quite enjoyable. Right. I forgot how much you enjoyed it.
It is amazing. I mean, it's nice when you have the downtime to be able to create at home and play and write your music. But there is nothing like having a live audience. The feedback and the excitement in the air, is what you feed off of.
1,000%.
It's one of those things. One of the things that I want to talk about, though, which I found kind of interesting, is you brought two guitars with you today.
Yes.
Now, I noticed you played one guitar for several of the songs, and then you switched over to the other guitar. Now, what is the reasoning behind that? Like the tone of the guitar, or what?
Pretty much, yeah. Okay. So I bought the first few songs I played were on a 12-string guitar. Okay. And I purchased that in 2020. Okay. Because I felt I wanted one. But it was cool because I've always wanted something 12 because it has a specific sound. Right. And getting that guitar, I wrote probably half of the songs that are on that album, A Little Empathy, within 2 weeks. Wow. I wrote A Little Empathy in about 3 or 4 weeks, but a big piece of that was getting that 12-string guitar. Wow. And just, sometimes the new toy.
So the guitar inspired you?
In a way, yeah.
So I think you need to do that. Like every 6 months, get a
We have that on film, right? Yeah, we have that on film. No, that one, that was, and it was, I got it secondhand. It was a good deal.
Okay.
But
there's lots of good deals out there, Brian.
What you didn't see is that my girlfriend's sitting right over there. So I'm like, huh?
Yeah,
suggestion?
excuse me, don't give him any good ideas.
That's a great idea. No, to a degree it did, because anytime there is a new toy, it does.
Right.
You want to sit there and play it.
Right.
And what with everything that was going on, say summer and fall, where we were just starting to really adjust to, okay, we can go out of the house again, and all these. Initially, when we started recording stuff, my buddy John and I sort of created a bubble before there was a bubble.
Okay.
And we started working on stuff that's going to be coming out this fall.
That's going to be.
But then all these new ideas came because of that partially
right.
Because of the 12 string.
That's really great.
Yeah, and so it just the songs just flowed really fast.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you wrote like 6 songs, you said, in 2 weeks, was it?
I think all 10 were written in 3 to 4 weeks.
Wow.
Of just, it was like a complete writing binge.
Wow.
Which I try not to do. But as I would send the demos to my friend John, who John and I essentially played all the instruments on the record. Right. Because we went in the studio in December 2020.
Right.
We got tested beforehand with the producer, just to make sure we were being safe. But then we stayed in the studio for 2 days and just played everything.
Wow.
And then it was, that was it.
So now, do you have a producer of your album, or is this just you're the producer?
I'm always the producer.
Okay.
But usually it'll be me and say at least one other person.
Okay.
So that particular record, we went to a place called Ponderosa Studios in Lafayette, New Jersey.
Okay.
And that's run by a friend for a long time now. Okay. Tom Askin.
Okay.
So Tom was essentially, we would call him at the driver's seat. He was doing the technical side.
Okay.
John Irizarry, who I've collaborated with for years.
All right.
He essentially played drums and anything with keys.
Okay.
And then I played anything with strings.
Strings, okay.
So, we would lay down an acoustic track to get the drums. And then while I'm laying down a bass part, he would be sitting in the control room with Tom. While Tom's getting me ready to do the bass, he would sit there at a little keyboard to try to think of, okay, does this need an organ part, a piano part, whatever.
Right.
He then comes in, adds the piano part. I'm thinking of an electric guitar part that maybe I hadn't thought of before.
Right.
And we just did that it was literally 22 hours.
Wow.
And that was the whole.
Wow.
So, in that particular one, it was the 3 of us. The upcoming thing in the fall, it'll be John and I, because we're working in his basement studio. But, it just depends on what it is.
If you go back into the studio, I just want you to give this a thought, because I like to give my audience a different view of things sometimes.
Sure.
I would love to come into the studio.
Sure.
And film you, at work there, and give, as I said, a different perspective. I have intentionally never done that. Because I guess, but you know what? It's probably time. Okay.
It's probably time.
Okay.
So I think for you,
right?
I think we could do that.
Thank you. And you know what? I'm very easygoing, and
of course.
And the thing is I go with the flow. So if there's a part that you're like, not but I appreciate it, because, as I said, because I would love to also interview somebody that, let's say, is at the control board.
Sure.
Doing all the levels and find out what makes him tick, and how you collaborate with them, to finally get the sound that everybody feels should be there. To me, that's so interesting.
It is a bit of a chef in the kitchen kind of thing.
I was going to say,
where typically I'll record a demo just on my phone of the song, so it'd be either me at a guitar or piano and vocal.
Right.
And to get from whatever that is to the finished product, there are a lot of steps. So
Right.
yeah, I definitely think, like you said, it'd be interesting for
I mean,
audience.
again, I always throw it out there because, and I think that people would like to see you at kind of in that process.
Sure.
I guess is the best word I could use, because it, as you said, it is a process. And it's nice to see, obviously you're up there singing. I always love that, but I like to bring in other elements of that artist.
Hey,
Truly.
round 4.
Yeah.
Round 4. You got it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, this is the title track from the record that came out in July of 2021. This is called A Little Empathy. I was sort of thinking Waylon Jennings, but I'll let you be the judge. I poured out a cold one at the end of the day and reflected on a quarrel from earlier on. A slight disagreement, and we both felt betrayed. These used to be the things that we could get beyond. A quiet repose was the way that it was for the whole damn world, and lost its mind. Disputes and disgraces I once put aside, a little empathy for all of mankind. Seen you out in the sun, strolling under clear skies. But I heard that you could sing out a mean walking blues. I can't begin to see your life through your eyes. I could try to take a walk right there in your shoes. A quiet repose was the way that it was for the whole damn world, and lost its mind. Disputes and disgraces we once put aside, a little empathy for all of mankind. Feel for you, I care for you. We're civil, we both can disagree. I feel for you, I care for you. You're more than just one opinion to me. With a glass about empty, I turn back inside. 'Cause I'm tired and the whole world makes me scared as hell. Through divisiveness, we can swallow our pride and vanquish the ethos that we hope to expel. A quiet repose was the way that it was for the whole damn world, when lost its mind. Disputes and disgraces we once put aside, oh, a little empathy for all of mankind. Disputes and disgraces we once put aside, oh, a little empathy for all of mankind. I wasn't smart when I made this album, because a lot of songs are in different tunings. but it does offer a unique sound. So this one's in Dadgad if you're humming along or playing along. This next tune was the hot single that propelled this album to be streamed dozens of times. It's called Falling Down. One, two, three, four. Went straight into the kitchen to pour myself a drink. Used to do it in the morning when I needed to think. Don't really know what happened, don't know when things went wrong. Your picture's on the wall, but you're completely gone. I can't get out of my own way. The dark filters all I see. Left the perfect splendor straight in my own of the world in for me. Not much for the spotlight, so I can trace the irony. Every time I put my name on it, I just give it all away for free. I can't get out of my own way. The dark filters all I see. I left the perfect splendor straight in my own world in for me. I thought I was getting back to everything I wanted to know. I thought that we could see all the places we wanted to go. In the path of self-destruction, you gotta know when you're falling down. I can't get out of my own way. The dark filters all I see. Left the perfect splendor straight in my own of the world in for me. This one's called Heroes and Villains. Everyone's a traveler. All our roads just intertwine. Ends well or in a massacre. The way all our paths collide. Experience turns colors, shades of gray. Getting lost in the thick of the game. Take every path or every highway to see the heroes and the villains all the same. keeps going. Soul of a man you can't see, holding high, but you keep rolling with just your heart and a guarantee. Experience turns colors, shades of gray, getting lost in the thick of the game, thick of the game. Take every path and every highway, see the heroes and the villains are the same. We used to try to get by for the good of humanity. Now I cry out for someone to trust, to maintain my sanity. Everyone needs someone, a person to hold on to. As a boy, they told me to be patient. All good things would always come in time, with the misinformation becoming blatant. And stoicism ain't worth a dime. Shouting your ideals from the rooftops, for all those not within your frame of mind. As the institutions there are changing, you can't always respond in kind. You can go and hide your sorrows away, try to hide the brand you burn on your chest. Realize wrongdoings dissipate as you join the ranks of the rest. Stare into the soul of your television. Look for lost opinions on your phone. Past the point of healthy suspicion as you stand on your precipice alone. You can go and hide your sorrows away, try to hide the brand you burn on your chest. Realize wrongdoings dissipate as you are the ranks of the rest. So stare into the soul of your television. Look for lost opinions on your phone. Past the point of healthy suspicions as you stand on your precipice alone.
So tell me a little bit about what's coming up that you're going to be actually working on. You said a record.
Yes.
So tell me about that.
So we did a little empathy, and we finished recording it in 2020, put it out in July. Really, really favorable response. People, I felt it was the best thing I'd done so far, and a lot of people felt, they told me the same.
Right.
We pressed it on vinyl. We sold out of them, right away, which was cool.
Yeah.
They were gone in like a month. Which,
No kidding.
Yeah, that exceeded my expectations,
Wow.
which was cool.
Now, where did you said you sold it on vinyl?
I did. Yeah.
That's fantastic, because most people aren't. I don't think a lot of people are doing vinyl, are they?
The issue you run into is it is so expensive.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, to press a CD per unit is relatively inexpensive.
Okay.
To press the vinyl per unit, especially if you're an individual paying for it,
Right.
it really does get expensive.
Really?
But
Wow.
we chose, I asked a few people about it, but we chose to go this route, me and the sort of inner circle, because I just said, I think I feel really strongly about this one, and if it was ever one to do it on,
it was, interesting.
it was this one.
So if I wanted to get a vinyl, because I still have a turntable, I would love to get one.
They are gone.
They are gone.
I said when I
So
did
you
the,
cannot. So
No.
just so you know, if you're one of those lucky people that have it, hold on to it, because how many did you make?
we made
Just out of-
50.
Okay.
And they were hand numbered, and if people wanted them signed, I would sign them. And yeah, they went really fast. Actually, I did sort of a pre-order, if you will. And
Oh, wow.
I'd say 20 of them were gone in the pre-order.
I don't remember getting a memo on that.
I did put it online. I did put it on the internet.
Did you?
I did. Many times, because I spent I spent a lot of money to put it up front.
Yeah.
So,
I don't recall that getting to me.
Lucky for you, and lucky for you, we're going to do this next one in the fall.
Okay.
Which will be called. The previous record was A Little Empathy. It's the first of a trilogy.
Okay.
This is the second one.
Okay.
And it's going to be called Dirty Tetris.
Dirty Tetris?
Dirty Tetris.
Okay.
It doesn't mean anything. I just thought it sounded. Yeah, A Little Empathy actually meant something.
Right.
This doesn't mean anything. I just
Okay.
thought it sounded funny.
Right.
Sounded cool. So that'll be out in the fall, and we're going to press vinyl again for that.
Oh, okay. Well, you may have to.
You'll be on the.
Put me on the list.
We'll put you on an email
please,
before they come out, and we'll make sure you get one.
That's great.
This is A Little Empathy is the white record. It's my white album. This is the red album.
Oh.
And then there's a third record, which is basically written,
Okay.
which will be more of a sort of like what you guys saw here. Me and the guitar.
Is that going to be a blue album?
Black.
Oh. I always thought you were going red, white, and blue.
I sort of did blue.
Okay.
I sort of did blue, like a lightish blue.
Okay.
So no, to me, I like the look of the three together, and I'll press them all on vinyl, and
Interesting.
and those all feature what I call Baby Duck.
Okay.
Yes. We've done Boy Duck, Lady Duck, now Baby Duck.
Right. Oh, that's cute. I think we did show your little thing on the ducks the last time.
Yes.
But and that's adorable. And I remember you telling me how you came up with that, but maybe you can refresh.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a school teacher.
Right.
And I didn't want to use pictures.
Okay.
Plus, I feel like I just sort of look like a guy, there's a lot of musicians these days who just sort of have a beard and wear flannel shirts.
Okay.
So I wanted to do something different. And I thought, very good friend of mine, coworker as well, Catherine Kifboza, incredibly talented graphic designer.
Okay.
The record was going to be called Remaining Young.
Okay.
So I just went to her and said, hey, can you make one of those little 1950s or 60s wooden pull toys?
Ducks, right? Okay.
Yeah, but obviously in graphic design form.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, I can do that. And a week later, there it was. I was like, that's exactly what I was thinking.
What you had. Okay.
That was it. And then it's sort of become a whole thing where that was the first one, and then even the live stuff that we just put out on the internet. That stuff is also duck related.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, you know what? I like it because actually, and I know this sounds crazy, but when you come up on my phone, you know, you've got the duck.
Yeah.
And it's so distinguishable. You know, I mean, it's like that's the thing that you know when you see that who it is.
The idea of branding after we did the first one,
right?
Yeah, it's where you don't even need the duck with my name,
right?
Where all you need to see is like, oh, it's a graphic design duck. That's got to be Brian,
right? Exactly.
You know? Yeah. Although we did find somebody pretty recently. Somebody sent me something where a guy was using art with a duck, and somebody was like, "Oh, go after him for gimmick infringement or whatever." I'm like, "Come on, I don't care."
Right.
But
right.
Yeah, at least people around here, they know, like, "Oh yeah, it's Brian."
Right.
Or what's really fun is if I go to a new place for the first time, and if they're, if they were looking for some entertainment or something,
right?
I go in and they say, "Okay, who are you?" And I say who I am, and they go, "Oh yeah, no, I've never seen you before, but I've heard of you. But you're the guy with all the ducks." And like, that's me. So
yeah, that was a great idea. Yeah. Let me just because I know we are getting close to the end. So tell me, what gigs do you have coming up? Now you were saying you had been quite busy with gigs, right? I think everybody, once they got the go on, things opening up, that it was like a rocket.
Between June of 2020 and December of 2021, I worked 250 shows.
Wow.
And this is not my full-time job. I mean, I just played and played and played, sometimes twice a day, in a day,
Wow.
Which was good in some respects, but also terrible in some respects. You burn out. You burn out. So this year, I'm still gigging.
Okay.
There's, but just trying to be a little more selective.
Okay.
So we're bringing the full band out a few times this summer.
Oh, you are.
To some of the local spots around Sussex, Morris County, a little bit in Pike County, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
but,
let me know.
Oh, absolutely.
You better let me know.
Of course, yeah. Milford.
Okay.
Milford's always been quite kind to us.
Oh,
so
good.
Yeah, we like coming up there.
Please let me know.
But right now, I wish I could give you an answer as to this, but I'm currently a finalist to open for Jimmy Vaughn at the Newton Theater.
I did. I voted for you.
Thank you. But the voting closed on Friday night, and they still haven't told us who won yet.
Oh, really?
And it is brutal.
That is brutal.
I want to know.
Right.
And by the time this is out, there'll be an answer. And I'm hoping the answer is like
me.
But all the other finalists are fine musicians, and
really
any of them would be an excellent choice. But so we'll see how that goes. But bringing the band out a whole bunch, and then with the goal of having some album release parties. September 30, October 1, October 2. So that's what we're shooting. 2 of those are booked. One is not booked. I'm waiting for them to open back up. Well, they're just, all they need to do is open the doors. And once they open their doors, once the season goes for them, I feel pretty confident that they'll have us again. So.
Well, I'm sure. Why wouldn't they? Because I got to tell you, one of the things, and that was one of the songs you played today. And you told me the name of it, and
Falling Down.
Falling Down.
Yeah.
I loved your guitar work on that.
Oh, thank you.
To me, there was some really different. I don't know if I want to say chords or it was some beautiful work.
Well, thank you.
Really.
That was playing around with a tuning.
Okay.
For all the guitar people that are watching, it's DADGAD tuning, DADGAD.
Okay.
But what it gives you is a little bit of a droney sound.
Okay.
And so while you have a couple of drone notes, you can play things that sound melodic as well. So you're getting like melody, and you're getting harmony and rhythm
Okay.
all within, because you changed the tuning or on some of the strings.
It was really very, very nice. Really, I liked it a lot.
Thank you.
So if somebody wanted to contact you,
Yes.
To maybe play a gig or private, now there's a lot of home concerts that they do.
Absolutely.
That's a really big thing.
Love those.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
So I am thinking of actually maybe having people start and doing it at my house.
Cool.
Because I've got a good sized yard, enough parking for people.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's a thought, and I'll keep you in mind if you love doing that.
Cool.
So if anybody wants to contact you, tell them the info.
Best way to get a hold of me is through socials, facebook.com/Brian St. John Music.
Okay.
BrianStJohn Music. Or Instagram, Brian St. John 13. Basically, if you start punching stuff in and you see a duck,
right,
you're in the right place. You're in the right place. So, and even if you send me something through that and say, hey, I'd like to give you a call,
right,
then I'll certainly give you my phone number to do something like that.
Right,
but
right.
yeah, that's the best way to get a hold of me and see kind of where I'm at locally as well. So if you're watching, want to come check me out, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. And what gigs do you have coming up? So if they wanted to try to catch you somewhere,
When is this out?
do you have any?
I do.
You have.
St. Patrick's Day is going to be a big one. The weekend of St. Patrick's Day on the 19th, going to be playing with my good buddy Brian McLaughlin.
Okay.
At a great spot called Shawnee Craft Brewery.
Oh, I've heard of it. I don't know if I've been there.
Good spot on Shawnee on Delaware, and we're gonna have
nice
some
spot.
fun.
Yeah,
real nice spot. So we're gonna have some fun that day. Bunch of solo stuff coming up, and a few things with the acoustic band.
Okay.
I know I'm in O'Reilly's in Newton at the end of April.
Okay.
Newton, New Jersey.
Okay.
Really, again, probably best way to go would be just head over to either the Facebook or the Instagram.
Facebook,
You can see kind of where I'm at week to week.
Okay, so you have a listing there,
I keep like a running.
That's good to know.
List. Yeah.
Well, I really want to thank you again, Brian, for coming on. And one of the other things that I wanted to say is not to forget that if you go into the studio,
of course,
to let me know.
Of course.
And I will try to also, I live in Pennsylvania, and there are several good places that would be perfect for you to play.
Oh, cool.
So if you want, I will jot down, because I think you do really well there.
Oh,
actually, Sean, don't you? Sean O'Flynn?
We've met. Yeah. Nice guy. Yeah.
And, he's basically a single artist, and he plays out there and does really well.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, that's why I know that you do really well there. And
Thank
that
you.
way I could see you.
Right around the corner.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get everybody to go
Yeah.
towards Pennsylvania as well. So where do you play mainly? In New Jersey? And
I live in Sussex County, New Jersey. So most of my gigs are there, but play a little bit in Morris County, a little bit in Warren County, New Jersey, and then Pike County, Pennsylvania, particularly Milford.
I can make it there.
Milford's easy. Yeah.
So anyway, I want to thank you again, and I want to thank the audience for joining me, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Donna's Happy Hour is filmed on location at the Blue Arrow Farm.